In the lush and fertile lands of Ife, the kingdom flourishes under the reign of Oba Edemola, a wise and benevolent king. The royal city, adorned with markets bustling with traders, is a hub of culture and tradition. Among the people of Ife, one name is whispered with awe and envy: Romoke, the daughter of the revered chief Alumide. Known for her striking beauty, intelligence, and grace, Romoke is the jewel of Ife, drawing suitors from near and far. Her dowry, set by her father, is legendary. Only the wealthiest and most powerful men dare approach, offering gold, silver, and treasures from distant lands. Yet in the midst of all this grandeur, Romoke feels a growing emptiness. Though her family sees her marriage as a transaction of power and wealth, Romoke dreams of a love that transcends material wealth. The seed of her rebellion against societal expectations begins to take root, setting the stage for her journey. The kingdom prepares for the annual festival of Ife, a celebration of the gods and the unity of the people. The city comes alive with music, dance, and elaborate rituals. For Romoke, the festival is a time of joy, but also a time when suitors arrive in droves. Each day, she meets men with polished manners and lavish gifts, yet none stirs her heart. Meanwhile, a humble young farmer named Akinjide arrives in the city, drawn to the festival's splendor. Akinjide is known in his village for his kindness and integrity, though his life has been marked by hardship. He saves a lost child in the marketplace, earning the admiration of bystanders but attracting little attention beyond that. When Romoke happens to witness his act of bravery, her curiosity is piqued. Their destinies are set on a path to collide. The marketplace hums with life as merchants shout to advertise their wares and children dart between the stalls. Romoke, shrouded in a delicate veil to conceal her identity, walks alongside her handmaidens. She insists on joining the festivities, eager to escape the confines of her father's compound. As she strolls through the bustling crowd, a commotion draws her attention. A small boy stumbles into the path of a galloping horse, his cries drowned out by the noise. In a flash, Akinjide dashes forward, scooping the boy out of harm's way. The crowd erupts in cheers as the horse veers off, and the boy's mother rushes to thank the stranger. From the shadows, Romoke observes the scene with awe. Her heart is stirred by Akinjide's selflessness. Though his clothes are plain and his face unfamiliar, his courage leaves an indelible mark on her. She lingers in the crowd, her curiosity growing. For the first time, Romoke feels a connection deeper than admiration for wealth or status. Later that evening, she asks her handmaidens about the heroic stranger. None recognize him, dismissing him as a poor commoner. But Romoke cannot forget his face. A man of honor, she muses, is worth more than gold. The festival continues into the evening, and Akinjide retreats to a quiet corner of the market, unaware that he has caught the eye of the noble maiden. He watches the vibrant celebrations with a mixture of awe and longing. Born into a humble farming family, Akinjide has always admired the splendor of Ife, but has never seen himself as part of it. Yet he finds joy in the simplicity of his life and the pride of honest labor. As the stars begin to the sky, an elder from the marketplace approaches him. "Young man," the elder says, "your bravery today was a blessing. Ife needs more men like you." Akinjide thanks the elder humbly, but he waves off the praise. "It was the right thing to do," Akinjide replies, a philosophy ingrained in him since childhood. As he prepares to leave, Akinjide notices a figure standing in the distance, a veiled woman flanked by attendants. For a fleeting moment, her gaze meets his, and he feels an unexplainable warmth. Though he cannot see her face clearly, her posture and presence exude grace and authority. He wonders who she might be, but quickly dismisses the thought. Women like her, he reasons, belong to a world far beyond his reach. Unknown to him, the veiled woman is Romoke, who watches him leave with a heart full of curiosity. "Who is this man?" she whispers to herself, setting the stage for their fateful connection. The morning sun casts a golden hue over the city of Ife, and Romoke wakes with a renewed sense of purpose. Her thoughts linger on the man she saw the previous day, his bravery and humility etched into her memory. Determined to know more about him, she convinces her handmaidens to accompany her to the market again, under the guise of seeking rare fabrics for the festival. Meanwhile, Akinjai begins his day early, helping an elderly merchant set up his stall. Though his life in the countryside has taught him hard work, he often takes odd jobs during festivals to earn extra coin. His warm smile and dependable nature quickly endear him to those around him. As Romoke and her entourage weave through the crowd, her eyes search for the face she cannot forget. Her heart skips a beat when she spots him, arranging goods with gentle care. Summoning her courage, she approaches the stall. Akinjai notices her instantly. Though her face is partially concealed, her presence feels commanding yet kind. "Good morning," she says softly, her voice tinged with curiosity. Akinjai nods respectfully. "Good morning, my lady. How may I assist you?" Romoke hesitates, unaccustomed to starting conversations with strangers. "I saw what you did yesterday," she blurts out. It was brave and selfless. Akinjai, caught off guard, scratches the back of his head. "I only did what anyone should do," he replies, his humility disarming her. Their exchange is brief, but it plants the first seeds of a connection that neither fully understands. As Romoke leaves, her heart flutters with excitement, while Akinjai feels a strange pull toward the mysterious woman who seems too grand for his simple life. As Romoke returns home, her mind is a whirlwind of emotions. Seated in the grand courtyard of her father's compound, she gazes absent-mindedly at the ornate carvings on the palace walls, her thoughts drifting back to the market. She recalls the sincerity in Akinjai's eyes and the humility in his words, so different from the polished arrogance of the wealthy suitors vying for her hand. What is this feeling? She wonders aloud, her voice barely a whisper. Her handmaidens, ever watchful, exchange knowing glances but dare not intrude on their mistress's musings. For Romoke, the memory of their brief exchange feels like a quiet rebellion against the life a family has meticulously planned for her, a life dictated by wealth, status, and alliances. Later that evening, her father, Chief Olumide, summons her to discuss the latest offers of marriage. He lists the names of prominent men from across the kingdom, each boasting riches and power. "Your future, Romoke, lies with someone who can bring honor and prosperity to our family," he says firmly. Romoke listens in silence, her heart sinking with every word. Though she respects her father deeply, she feels an invisible wall growing between them. How can she make him understand that her dreams are not tied to gold and silver? That love, not wealth, is the treasure she seeks? As night falls, Romoke stands on her balcony, gazing at the moonlit fields of Ife. Her heart is torn between duty and desire, but one thing is certain. She must find a way to reconcile her family's expectations with the yearnings of her own heart. Romoke's internal struggle intensifies as the days pass. Her father, Chief Olumide, continues to receive suitors with open arms, entertaining their grand promises and extravagant gifts. Romoke, however, grows more withdrawn, her once radiant smiles now tinged with sorrow. One morning, her mother, Adunni, notices her daughter's unease and approaches her in the family's garden. Adunni, though strict, has a mother's intuition and knows when something troubles her child. "Romoke, my precious one," she begins, her tone gentle yet probing. "What clouds your heart so heavily?" Romoke hesitates, unsure whether she can confide in her mother. "I feel trapped, mother," she finally admits. "Every day, I meet men who offer treasures beyond measure, yet none speak to my soul. Must my happiness be sacrificed for wealth and alliances?" Adunni sighs, sitting beside her daughter on the garden bench. "Romoke, you are the pride of this family, and with that pride comes responsibility. Your father and I only wish for you to have a life of security and honor." "But what of love, mother?" Romoke asks, her voice trembling. "Should it not be the foundation of a marriage?" Adunni looks at her daughter thoughtfully. "Love is a luxury, my child," she says, her tone heavy with resignation. "And not everyone is fortunate enough to find it." Romoke feels a pang of despair at her mother's words, but resolves to hold on to her belief in true love. Though her path is unclear, she knows she must find the courage to defy tradition, even if it means standing alone. In his modest hut on the outskirts of the bustling city, Akinjai sits by the flickering light of a clay lamp, his thoughts wandering to the veiled woman from the market. Her voice, soft yet commanding, lingers in his memory like the scent of blooming flowers after rain. Though he knows little about her, the brief encounter has left an undeniable impression on him. She is not like the others. He muses, running his fingers over a carving he has been working on, a small wooden figurine of a bird, a hobby that brings him peace. But who am I to dream of someone from her world? He shakes his head, attempting to dismiss the thoughts as folly. His neighbor, an elderly farmer named Baba Agba, notices his distraction the following day. As they work side by side in the fields, the old man chuckles. "You've been quiet, Akinjide. Has the festival given you too much to think about?" Akinjide smiles faintly but says nothing. Baba Agba continues, "A man like you should be looking for a good woman. You have the heart and the strength to build a family, even if you don't have riches." The words strike Akinjide deeply, for they echo the secret yearning he dares not voice aloud. He knows the odds are against him, yet a small part of him clings to the hope of meeting the veiled woman again. As the sun sets over the fields, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, Akinjide makes a quiet vow. "If the gods will it," he whispers, "our paths will cross again." In the grand hall of Chief Olumide's compound, Romoke sits silently as another suitor presents himself before her family. The young prince from a neighboring kingdom is adorned in fine robes and gold, his confidence evident as he boasts of his lands and treasures. Her father listens intently, nodding approvingly, while her mother exchanges pleased glances with the prince's attendants. Romoke, however, feels a growing sense of suffocation. She forces a polite smile but remains distant, her heart and mind elsewhere. When the prince finally departs, her father turns to her with an expectant look. "Well, Romoke," Chief Olumide says, his voice firm but not unkind, "what do you think of this suitor? He is wealthy, powerful, and comes from a respected family. He would be a good match." Romoke stands, her hands clenched tightly at her sides. "Father," she begins, her voice steady despite the turmoil within, "I cannot marry a man I do not love." Her father's expression darkens, and the room falls silent. "Romoke, you speak as if this is a matter of choice. You are my daughter, and your marriage is not just about you. It is about this family, our legacy, and our standing in the kingdom. But what about my happiness?" Romoke counters, her voice rising. "Must I sacrifice my heart for the sake of appearances?" Chief Olumide's patience begins to wear thin. "You are too young to understand the ways of the world. Love does not fill bellies or secure alliances. Do not let foolish dreams cloud your judgment." Romoke's defiance shocks her parents, but she stands her ground. That night, as she retreats to her chambers, she feels the weight of her rebellion. Though she knows the path ahead will not be easy, she is more determined than ever to fight for her own happiness, even if it means going against her family's wishes. Chief Olumide's study is filled with tension as he paces back and forth, his hands clasped tightly behind his back. His wife, Adunni, sits nearby, her brows furrowed in worry. Romoke's defiance at rejecting the suitor has unsettled them both, not just because of the insult to tradition, but also the ripple effects it could create among their allies. "She has never spoken to me like that," Chief Olumide mutters, his voice tinged with frustration. "Where has this stubbornness come from? She risks ruining everything we've built." Adunni, though equally concerned, takes a gentler tone.